What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today I just gotta say thank you all. Now, I just hit 1,000 subs in, just yesterday, and I've kind of been going, hey, what am I going to do to say thank you? And we'll get to that towards the end of the videos, but right now I just gotta say thank y'all. And, it's absolutely amazing the amount of support that we've seen in just these past few months. I started back in June of this year, June 11th, I believe, and I've came out with a video every single day, and, it takes about 5 hours to make a video or so, and it's so nice to actually start seeing some traction and seeing this great community that we're building. Paragon can be quite a salty game, so just having the support of all of y'all who, jump into Discord or just leave some nice comments saying, hey man, this helped me out, or keep doing what you're doing. It feels just absolutely amazing to me, and I really can't thank y'all enough, but I'm gonna definitely try. Now, in case you're wondering what's going on with this gameplay, this is a private match me and my subs just kind of threw together last minute just the other day, and we all went mid lane. There was no laning at all. It was just everybody is in mid lane. You could get river buffs and green buff and prime and raptors if you could actually get to it. I actually went with all cursed cards, and I gotta say, guys, that's not a viable deck. I was planning on actually trying this out, but, I figured what better match to do it than this one, and it's definitely not worth. But anyways, let's kind of get down to what this video is about. Now, earlier this week, I said, I'm about to hit 1,000 subs. What do y'all want to see? And the first response I got was a Q&A. So I'm going to, I kind of made a channel in Discord, said ask me anything, and hey, I'll respond to it, with a few limitations, of course. But let's get down to it and really kind of get into these questions. Now, the first question is from Beck, and he just kind of asked these verbally, so I couldn't do a copy and paste type thing where I actually put up his questions. But his first question was, why did I start YouTube? Now, I started YouTube to actually help people get better. There's a lot of YouTubers out there doing Paragon content, but there were very few doing content, or, when I first started, I didn't really ever see anybody doing just straight up, hey, this is to trying to make people better. And that's where, I showed up. I said, hey, there's not really anybody doing this. And with most people, or a majority of people coming from PlayStation that have never really played a MOBA before, there needs to be somebody here that can really just help out and say, hey, this is how to do things. Why is this important? What kind of hero should I play? And, if I want to play this hero, how should I build them? And that's really where I popped up. Now, I started doing YouTube right after version 40. I quickly fell in love with FaZe, and, she was, I think my very first video was actually over her, and then right after that, I did a whole series of beginner guides. Now, back then, my audio was terrible and everything like that, but, I was really trying to kind of make a tutorial, since a tutorial is just completely lacking within Paragon. And, that's really what kick-started my YouTube career, I guess you'd say. Now, the next question is about playing other games, or am I just only going to do Paragon? And I have tried to branch in a couple other games. I did some, I believe I called them like quick reviews, and if you look through the little playlist that I have, you can actually see I did these quick reviews on a handful of games, and it was really just the first time I jumped into a game, didn't read anything about it, just jumped in, started playing it, see if I like it. And, no one really wanted to watch those. And then I did Destiny videos, which I was a huge Destiny 1 fan, and I did a couple of Destiny 2 videos, and I'm not a fan of Destiny 2 at all. So that just kind of ended. I did a couple of Fortnite videos. I was really excited about Fortnite, but the core game itself was less than desirable, in my opinion. And then with the the new Battle Royale, that's really not my type of game. I'm not really into games where there's only one winner. I don't play Texas Hold'em, which is what I said earlier. I like playing team games where there is a winner. I don't want to go into a match where you're matched up against, 100 people, or, 20 teams of 5, and there's only one survivor type thing. That's just not really my type of game. but I might try that out. I would definitely like to try out other games. It's just with so many changes coming to Paragon, and you know, I kind of think Paragon still got some traction there. Even though, you know, there's a lot of top guys saying, hey, you know, it's not as enjoyable, but I'm still really enjoying Paragon. And so I think I'm going to continue Paragon until, you know, a game comes out that I actually really want to get into, or, you know, maybe just always do Paragon and kind of sprinkle a game here and there in. Now, the first question is, yo, would you ever stream? And maybe, you know, that's the only answer I can give right now. I don't plan on it anytime soon, and, you know, I really like the way I do my videos now. They take way longer than most people's videos, and they're way more complicated, and, you know, I'm spending 5-6 hours of video from, you know, start to finish, but I really, you know, my videos are really targeted to make people better and, you know, educational. And when you do streams, you're not really doing that. You're more of an entertainer. And so I might do that in the future. But with a game like Paragon, I do not see myself ever doing a stream because, you know, I got to say, even though I am, you know, a casual now, I always am a tryhard. So, you know, I concentrate. I don't just randomly talk. You know, I'm pretty quiet whenever I play. And you know, if you've played with me, I am quiet. I pretty much stick to the game because, you know, I've got my sweaty gloves on. So I don't see myself streaming in the near future, but of course that might change. I can never, you know, you never say never, but as of right now, I don't have any plans on moving into streaming. Alright, the next question is, would you ever consider doing a top 3 offlane, mid lane, carry, jungle support video with reasons on why they did or didn't make the list? And, you know, I've never even thought about making this video, but hey, I'm all on board, and I'll start working on that. You know, I do have a list stacking up. If you've been in Discord, you can see there's quite a few things on that list, and then I've got, you know, a list actually written down. But yeah, I will definitely work on this. I think this is an absolute great idea. You don't see a whole lot of top lists like this since Paragon's a little bit older now. There are a few out, but they're very, very outdated. So I can definitely see myself making this video, and, you know, hey, expect it in the future. The next question is, would you consider an official forum for more in-depth discussion? And I could not actually get in touch with Wrath and ask, you know, exactly what he meant. Is he meaning, like, me get on an official forum, like, you know, well, official, but getting on something like Reddit, or is he talking about me creating one? And, you know, I spend, like I said earlier, I spend a ton of time making these videos, so I don't get to really watch PTR, or, you know, I do watch the community corners and try to bring that information to y'all. I do try to go over the patch notes, things like that, but I really don't have a whole lot of time to, you know, just patrol forums, since it is just me, and, you know, hey, I do have other priorities as well. But, you know, if you're talking about maybe creating one, yeah, definitely. I've really thought about doing something with that, and now that I've hit 1,000 subs and I get that new fancy, you know, channel where I can have that big discussion on, I can definitely see myself actually turning that into more of a discussion forum. But, you know, as far as like getting on Reddit or things like that, no, not too much. I used to really participate a lot in the Paragon forums, but the Paragon, you know, any game forum right now, it doesn't matter what game it is. It can be, you know, Hello Kitty plays video games, and people are just going to be evil and nasty on the forums. Like, the gaming community, it's either you really love something or you really hate something, and typically people that hate things yell the loudest, so that's really where forums devolve to eventually. But, you know, as of right now, I don't have plans on making one myself personally. You know, I do have the Discord set up so we can get into big discussions on that, but I have not thought about actually creating a forum page. Now, my next question is, who is my favorite character in Paragon? And that is easily Countess. I've played more games on Countess than most people have played matches in Paragon. I've spent a lot of time with her. You know, when I kind of stepped down from the more competitive side of Paragon, I really just played just tons and tons of Countess. And I really, really enjoy her. She's really fun to play. I always like, you know, juking the enemy team out with her Shadow Slip and, you know, getting those just tons and tons of rotations with her because you could push her lane so much faster than the enemy caster. I've always played her mid lane, by the way, so I never played her off lane, but I just really enjoy Countess, and I don't play her much anymore. I kind of talk about why in my Countess video, but I still really enjoy her. She's a really fun hero to play, but again, making YouTube videos where I try to cover every hero, you know, I don't really have like a main anymore. I play a different hero every single day. So it's kind of difficult to get good with a hero because, you know, most times with heroes, you need to play a handful of games over and over and you kind of learn their kit and learn fine details. And then when you switch off of them, you start slowly forgetting things. You know, that's kind of where I am with Countess. That on top of, you know, the other reasons I mentioned in the video. I'm not going to go over them because it upset a lot of people, so. But it is what it is. Countess is definitely my favorite hero. My next question is, what are the top things you miss from previous versions of Paragon? Man, this is a tough question because there's a lot of things. But I really miss the Legacy map, but not for the ways a lot of other people's miss. I miss just the way it looked, the way it felt. The jungle felt really cool and entertaining. The jungle feels very boring now. I miss just the whole size of the map. Although if they did bring Legacy back, I think they need to turn down the size. Even with the new movement speed, I think the map was just too big. The shadow pools were really neat as well. I do miss the shadow pools, but there were a ton of things that I did not like about Legacy, and I think Monolith has really improved upon. But other than that, I guess I gotta say I miss the 6-card system. You know, we've had the 3-card system for a while now, and I miss the customization of how Paragon used to be. Sure, I wouldn't mind having all these insane cards where every card has, you know, this side either active or passive ability. I wouldn't mind that being in the 6-card system, but I miss the customization of the 6-card system. You know, if you want to build Unbroken Spirit, this is what you get. Or if you want to build, you know, Invader, if you want Ability Pin, you have to pick up Guard Piercer or Invader Mage. You know, I miss having customization where I could say, I want this card to have this on it and this much of it on it. But, you know, I've just fully accepted what's new in Paragon. I think it's kind of counterproductive to wish that, hey, I wish things were different because, you know, Paragon or Epic has an idea for Paragon, and they're moving it in a direction where they're seeing more and more people go. And, you know, wishing about the past, all you're doing is wishing about the past. So, you know, I'm just going to move on and say, hey, I wish it was different or back how it was, but it's not, so no big deal. My next question is, what is my most hated character in Paragon? And this one is another no-brainer. It's the Fae. I do not like the Fae. I can't play her well. There's nothing about the Fae that I like. I don't even like having her in my team. I just do not like the Fae. And, you know, there's a couple of people that are just absolutely amazing with Fae. And she's a very, very good hero, especially since she got the buffs and things like that. You know, they made it where her E actually works. You know, they did a great job making her better. But I'm terrible with her and I don't like her. My next question is, are you single? And no, I've actually been married for like 5 years now, I think. Oh, don't tell my wife. She'd kill me. But yeah, I'm actually married and I have a kid. My next question is, what would be your ideal team comp? And man, this is such a complicated question because depending on what the other team picks, it changes everything up. Like in this match, actually, I was planning on going Muriel, but since I saw they picked up Bellica, I said, hey, I'm gonna go Bellica just to have that mana drain just like them. So, it really depends. But if I had to pick my draft before, I could see the enemy team, I would say I would probably like to have a Steel support, a Steel Narbash or Muriel support. One of those three. Everything else I got characters for. So, as far as my ADC, I'd like to see a Twin Blast. For my jungler, probably Rampage. For my mid lane, Gadget. And for my off lane, I would like to see Quang. Or Kwang, whatever you want to call him. So, just tons and tons of CC. And, 3 real tanky heroes. A really good, strong burst caster. And a solid ADC. That's really the type of team comp that's really going into, really playing well. Of course, if we worked on it, we could do the Wraith support, like, that's been really popular lately. But for the most part, you're not seeing a whole lot of Wraith team comps in, our games because, Wraith does take a lot of skill to get to where you can sync him up and work very well with your team. But again, just lots of CC. Bellica's still a very strong choice for the mid lane, but I've always liked having a really strong zoner, especially one that can keep you from moving. Now, my next question is, who is the most underrated or underwhelming hero? And, I think these are kind of two different questions. I think the most underrated hero is probably Crunch. And, Crunch is just so good. But you don't ever see him. And, I really like Crunch. And I think I do a fairly decent job of playing Crunch. But, yeah, you just never see Crunch. And I think, he's got great CC. He's got great burst damage. He can engage. He can catch up to people running away. His biggest downfall is he's huge. But, I think he is a very solid hero, and we just don't have a lot of people playing him. Now, as far as underwhelming, that would have to be Zinx. I think Zinx is just a terribly underwhelming hero. Howie's in a pretty bad spot right now, in my opinion, but at least his R2000 can hit you like a truck. Zinx is completely counterpicked by Bellica, and then there's a ton of cards out there that can shut her down. Not only that, but, her damage is pretty lacking, so I'd have to say she's definitely the most underwhelming hero in my opinion. Now, my last question is a really good question, and what do you think about the way Epic is moving forward? And include the fact that the HUD is also being completely changed. Now, in my opinion, I don't have just a huge problem with the HUD. The current setup doesn't look terrible to me. I am definitely interested to see what it's going to look like in the future. If it's going to look like more MOBAs or, change is always hard, and no matter what changes, you always hate it for the first week. So, I'll probably hate the new HUD. But the one thing I'm most interested in is how we will be able to change the crosshairs or where your reticle is. I really do not like the fact that the reticle is different for Kalari, and then when you get on someone like Grux or somebody, it's a little bit different. When you get on an ADC, it's different. When you get on a caster, it's a little bit... I wish I could just move it, change the color, and actually change how it looked. That would be amazing to me. And if they did that and just erased everything else on the hub, I'd probably be happy. But, I don't really know what the HUD details look like, so it's really hard for me to say if I'm going to like it. The card system, when you're picking your deck when you go start a game, is absolutely terrible. The 6-card version was so much better because you could, when you had a Twin Blast deck, if you had 5 Twin Blast decks, it didn't matter. You could pick the Twin Blast deck that you had. And now it's just a mess. If you make a new deck, you've got to spend 30 minutes scrolling through all of them to find the one you want. And if you're using a card like Font of Experience, well, you miss out on a handful of ticks, which, that in the grand scheme of things, that isn't big, but the whole point of that card is to get it on fast. So, I'm really hoping that the new HUD changes will be amazing. And to be quite honest, I'm sure they will be. Now, as far as moving forward, I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but with this 3-card system, with the version 42 system, I feel that the customization has gone away. I feel that now more than ever, there is a solid meta. This is the deck that you use. These are the cards that you use. This will give you the most benefit, everything like that. I feel that is more prevalent in version 42 or now than it ever was in the 6-card system, even though there's so much more ways to customize your hero. This card is better than this card. Why would you pick a underwhelming card when you can have the best card? And it's kind of the same. I've done a ton of tests on like Knights of Asher and things like that to find out what is the hardest hitting ADC deck. And sure, you can pick the growth deck and you can have tons and tons of power with, one of the Tribon and you hit like a truck and this and that. But still, it doesn't matter. The best deck or the highest damage deck you can pick is that Hellfire build. And so if you just want the hardest hitting hero you can pick, this is the deck for you. If you want a perfectly sustained hero, this is the deck for you. If you want a burst caster that can, sneak up on people, this is the deck for you. And if you want if you have a burst caster that naturally slows people, this is the deck for you. I really feel that the customization of Paragon has just completely gone away, other than picking what skin you want. There's a handful of cards that you see in every deck on every hero. Sure, every hero does have a little bit of a different deck. That's one thing I guess you could argue, that there is a lot of customization within that. But for the most part, you can run the exact same deck on every single caster, and it's very good. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of that decision, but I can respect it. And, I don't, if I want to continue playing Paragon, I don't really have a choice about it. So, I've just kind of accepted the way things are going. I'm not the biggest fan of the 3-card system. I really enjoyed the customization of the old system, but again, it is what it is. There's not a whole lot I can do to change it, especially since, hey, I'm at 1,000 subs. Epic's not quite listening to me yet. But again, I've just got to accept the changes. I can say I'm not the biggest fan of the current card system, but hopefully they will balance things out. I would really like to see like 5 heroes released at once. We can deal with all the brokenness of that, but I would like to see that. I'd also like to see another like 50 cards come in. That way maybe there is some customization there, because right now I really just, I feel that Paragon has gotten a little stagnant, and it's kind of play this hero with this deck, and that's about the best you can do. Now, as far as the thank you, I don't know how to say thank you enough, guys. Y'all have shown just a ton of support, and, my channel, I feel, has grown fairly quickly over the past, couple of months. I was doing Paragon videos for probably about a month and a half with less than 100 subs, and, my very first video took me 12 hours to make because I had no idea what I was doing. And, the quality is terrible, everything like that. My old thumbnails look terrible. And, I cannot thank y'all enough. The guys that stuck through the bad audio and the horrible thumbnails and, just all of that. Me trying to get used to actually making videos. Those guys, I want to thank the new guys, just everybody. Thank you in general. So, what I've decided to do as a thank you is do a giveaway. Now, I would really like to give away skins or something like that within Paragon, because that's what 99% of all of y'all subbed to me for, was for my Paragon content. And I know there's a ton of y'all that would love the new Narbash skin, but, y'all don't want to spend $10 to get it or however much it costs. And Paragon does not have a way for me to send coins or send gold or, you know, whatever. There's no way for me to buy skins for people. But I can give you a gift card. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, all you have to do to enter this is to write a comment below in this. I would actually really like you to write what your favorite video of mine that I've done is. But, you know, if you don't want to do that, hey, that's fine as well. If you can really write anything, I'm going to count everybody. And then I'm going to go into the comments and, you know, write everybody's name down. You're only going to get one entry, guys. Trust me, it takes me forever to do it, but I do go through every single comment, count every single name, and then I go into a number generator, pick 2 random numbers, and those are the guys that are receiving the gift cards. Now, they're going to be $50 gift cards, and I can do it for Steam, you know, I can do it for, you know, PlayStation. I guess if you really wanted an Xbox one, I could do it for that, or I can just make it a random Visa one to where you can buy you can go buy, you know, groceries with it, whatever you want. And, you know, that's really the only way that I can say, here, you can take this and go buy Paragon skins with it. But again, this is yours. If you win this, you can give it to your best friend. You want it. It's your prize to do with how you want. So, again, all you have to do is write a comment. You know, I would like to see what y'all's favorite video of mine is. Just for me personally, I would enjoy that. But again, you don't have to write that. There's only going to be one entry. Don't feel bad about, you know, if you want to respond to other people's things, don't feel bad about that. I'm going to consider those. If all you do is respond to somebody, you're going to get counted in. And like I say, I put all the names on a list, hit a number generator, and boom, those are the people that are going to win. So after it's all said and done, me and the 2 people will somehow get in contact, and we will talk about it, and, you know, we can do it through email. And since they're going to be gift cards, we can just simply have, you know, I can just simply do it over the, you know, send you an email with it, or do it in Discord, whatever works easiest for you. And, you know, that's it, guys. So that's how to win. And if, you know, that's really the only way I know how to say thank you the most. Now, if you are in Europe, I'm not exactly sure how this will work. I don't as far as the gift card, I'm sure the Visa or I'm sure the Steam account one or the PlayStation account one, I'm sure those will be perfectly fine. But if they're not, maybe, you know, we'll kind of get more into that if that situation arises and figure things out from there. But, you know, it is what it is, guys. That's how to win, and good luck to everybody. And, you know, this is really the only way I know how to say thank you. And other than just straight up saying thank you, I would definitely like to do a little more. I'm sure y'all have noticed I try to be as actively as I possibly can within our little community. I try to respond to everybody and just everything like that. And, you know, I really hope to, you know, continue to grow this channel, this community that we have, and I hope y'all stick around and grow with me. Well, again, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all of y'all's support. I would not be doing this without y'all. You know, not because I wouldn't have an audience, but because I thought, you know, there's been a few times here and there that I've just thought, oh man, this is so tough. You know, I spend hours and hours, you know, I spend more time staring at this computer than most people do working at their job. So, you know, I definitely really enjoy the fact that y'all enjoy my content, and I can't wait to continue doing it for y'all. But again, guys, thanks for watching. Thank you for all the support that you've given me. Thanks for, you know, just all the kind comments, and good luck to everybody. I'm sorry I can't give, you know, everybody the Narbash skin, or I definitely would. But this is the only way I know how to say thank you as much as I can. And again, if you win this, it's yours. Do with it what you want. And, you know, thanks, guys. Well, if you did enjoy this video, show me some love. Leave me a comment. Think about subscribing. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.